On Continuum today, we're talking with some of our apostolic Asian leaders about the excitement of planting new churches. Welcome to Continuum today. We're talking about winning the world through planting local churches. And you know, really, I absolutely believe, and the men that you're going to meet today absolutely believe, that God's plan for world evangelism is through planting churches. Abraham waited, it said, he looked for a city. And you know, when you study the Bible, you learn that that city that Abraham looked for was the New Testament church as you and I know it today. It said a church that had foundations, or a city that had foundations. And Jesus said, I build my church on the foundations of the apostles and the prophets. And so today with me are some of my favorite apostles from across Asia, and some of my best friends and guys that we've been working together with in the ministry for many years. And I think together, guys, we probably represent, what, about 50 churches or so across the nations of Asia. We have Brother Peter Jamshed from Pakistan. He's the apostolic leader of Victory Churches there. And John from Burma, Myanmar. And he's kind of he's the young guy in the group, right? He's just been going for a year or two there, 2 years now, I guess, John? And getting a good start in Myanmar there. And then Rich Conte, our apostolic leader in the Philippines, and a great move of God that we're seeing in the Philippines and through our lives. And so we really want to kind of draw in our partners and the people that could be watching this program across the nations into the importance of the local church, and how every one of us began our ministry in the local church, began our ministry believing in the local church, and today function as part of local churches in different parts of Asia. And our vision is to reach, to teach, and to mobilize. I mean, in basic terms, Matthew, you know, where Jesus said, go into all the world, right? Make disciples of all nations. So let's start with Pastor Peter from Pakistan and talk about what things have you got going that are really reaching the people and mobilizing people into their destiny and their purpose in Christ.
Yeah, we have 10 churches and several school projects. Mm-hmm. And we just opened 2 part-time Bible schools. Mm-hmm. One in Lahore district and other one is in Kasur district. We started our first church in 2001, and in this 9 years we have planted 10 churches in different cities of Pakistan. And this year it is our plan to plant more churches. In 4 or 5 years, I think we will double in numbers. We will be reaching at the places where nobody wants to go. We are discipling a lot of people, because from evangelism, and now we are shifting to the discipleship, although we are doing evangelism, but we are more focusing on our church members so they can become a good disciple, so that they can continue the work of the kingdom. I hope in 4 or 5 years we will have very strong men and women in our churches. So they will be able to not only evangelize, some of them can also become full-time leaders in the churches. But I think we will have a generation in coming years that they will be able to answer. They will be able to defend their faith. Besides this, we have schools. More kids are coming in our schools, and we are imparting free education, so they can become good citizens, good Christian, and in future, I hope we can have some good leaders out of our schools.
And you know, John is kind of in that stage right now, where in Burma, in Myanmar, we see him gathering the people around him. And you've attracted some great people as well, John, haven't you?
Yes.
I mean, we see some of these guys. They're really, really nice guys that have been able to help you. Yes. And of course, your ministry started in crisis. I mean, you were busy in Bible school here.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the cyclone Nargis hit Burma, and you ran back there to see what you could do. And out of that has come a ministry. And so we see kind of a different aspect of how you're reaching the people in Myanmar. So tell us a little bit about that. It's a very interesting story.
Shortly after our country hit by the Nargis cyclone, I have to go back to our country. So I went back there, and the hard time comes, the opportunity is there, so I take the opportunity. And I go there, and I help to the suffering, the people, victims of the Nargis. At the same time, I share the gospel. So I attract to the people to be attained, to be attained. So we went around the desert, and then we distribute to the rice and oils and the pure water and so on, many stuff we distribute. It's very difficult to go there. And by the same time, we share the good news there.
Yeah.
It made me really sad in my heart, I saw the people are living on the mud and sleeping on the mud, sleeping with animals. And when I see them, their life is lower than animal. But I really want to help those people. But the government is still prohibiting the support from the outsider. So how are we going to do? Those people is going to die, definitely.
The Nargis, I had the opportunity to go into the Burma again. So when I got to the village, at the village, see the people are lying on the arch, and then the people are starving, and some people are dying, some people are, I see the many dead bodies there. And I had a little bit fun from Thailand, and then I brought the rice, many bags, and then I distribute them in order to continue their lives day by day, and then day by day, if I doing, and on the other hand, I distributing the rice and I share the gospel. After that, I built a center, and after I built a center, what we have opportunity is the people are coming to our center when they have a free time, and then at that time we have a chance to share the gospel. What the gospel means, what a Christianity is.
This is such a heartwarming story, really. I mean, the things, the miracles that have happened after Nargis hit, and so many people were so devastated. And really, it makes me proud of many of our partners, Continuum, that partner through Continuum Television, this program that funded that and prayed for that, and helped us get in there and do that. Yeah. And that's one way that not only mobilizing people in Myanmar, as you're doing, but also mobilizing the people in the West to get involved in church planting in Pakistan, Myanmar, Philippines, wherever it may be. And I think that's really so key for us to hear these things, John, and to know that, what we partnered with you here in a couple of years ago has produced such tremendous fruit. And you've faced many hardships there. I know that in Pakistan, Brother Peter, you face many hardships there. This is not an easy country to plant churches. It's not popular with the government or anybody like that, And then we get to Pastor Rich here, and it's a breeze in the Philippines. You make it look like that, though, Rich. You're having such a good time in the ministry there, and then you've just been here for 2 weeks teaching all of our guys your church planting strategies and so on. It's just been tremendous. But tell us what's happening in the Philippines. That always warms my heart as well.
Yeah, I guess compared to Pakistan and Myanmar, it really is a breeze, We're having a bit of a revival, really. I guess we're right on the edge of major revival. We've seen our churches grow from 5 to 26 in the last 8 years. A church we planted 8 years ago is now 1,600 people in the church. We started a Bible school. People are being raised up, and churches are being multiplied. So it's really taken off. We feel like we're riding a wave that we're just trying to keep up with what God is doing. It's just so much happening.
We've had workers working here out for several years, opening Bible studies in various homes, various areas. What we felt like the Lord showed us a strategy was to not open a church immediately.
Right.
Because once you open on the Sunday service, then the focus changes. If you can keep the workers outward focused, doing evangelism, reaching out to the community,
Right.
and hold them off from opening a Sunday service, then when you open, it's amazing how many people you get on the first service.
Right.
And when you get those large numbers on the first service, there's a momentum there that literally saves you years of work.
Right.
And so we've seen God do this several times now, opening churches of 200 or 300 on the first service, and then those churches are strong from day one.
Yeah.
And they're not struggling for 5 or 10 years.
Sure.
And so it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of plowing. It takes patience. It takes faith. It takes hard work.
Right.
But the results in the end, we found far outweighs what we, in the past we have opened small churches, but those churches seem to struggle for years and years on. Whereas if we can open a church with 200-300 in the first service, man, the thing just takes off,
Sure.
But going back to reach, teach, and mobilize, everything we do is focused around those three things. If what you're doing is not doing one of three things,
Right.
then we don't want to be doing it. You've got to either be reaching the lost.
Yes.
If you're not reaching the lost, then you've got to be teaching, training, making disciples, mentoring people, pouring into their lives. And if you've done that, well, then you've got to mobilize them into ministry. Otherwise, if you're not doing that, what are you doing? I mean, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. This is what Christ has told us to do. Go into all the world, preach the gospel. Go into all the world, make disciples. We have to not only make disciples, but release and mobilize those people into ministry.
Yeah.
And that's where we begin to move from addition to multiplication. And that's the thing that God's really speaking on our hearts the last couple of years is we have to really change from just addition to multiplication. Addition, you add followers.
Yeah.
Multiplication, you raise up and release leaders that can do the same thing that you can do.
Yeah.
That's when you begin to really see multiplication. And so we're just very, very excited about what God is doing in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's so cool to see what God is doing all across Asia. And a little later today, I'll be having a meeting with our Thai pastoral team, church planning team, and I'm excited about that too because these guys are fired up and they're so excited about seeing more and more fruitfulness into that, moving into that multiplication in Thailand as well, and all of the nations across Asia. And I think really one of the keys when it comes right back to it, guys like the four of us sitting here and all of our other pastors. I mean, we represent a lot of pastors and leaders across the country, really. If you get 26 churches there and another 10 or dozen churches there and 8 churches in Thailand, and you got a great team of leaders that you've raised up there, Cambodia, Malaysia, all of these places, that there's really a key here in the way that we function together as a body and as a vision. And that vision, reach, teach, and mobilize, gives us the fabric. It gives us the tracks that we run on, right? It gives us the same focus so that we can see what it takes to encourage one another. We can see why we need to fellowship, why we need to support each other, why we need partners in the West that are helping us, because we have this track that we run on, and it's the Great Commission of Jesus. And I love that. He's the one that told us to go into all the world and make disciples of all nations. Whatever it takes in any nation, that's what we are willing to do, and that's what we're going to do. And so it's really exciting. I mean, I love these guys to bits because these are the guys that really make church planting vision fly in the nations of Asia. And so many wonderful men and women. And I want you to really consider partnering with us, World Mission Continuum, through the information in this program, because when you partner with us, you're helping us train more men like this, launch them into more countries like these, and see more believers come in, reaching people that are lost and teaching and training them to become successful and productive believers, and then mobilizing them. And one of the keys really of mobilizing is what we're doing right here. One of the things that we're committed to is you know, you guys didn't just graduate Bible school and we said, bye, here's your certificate.
Yeah.
You know, we're committed to come as often as we can to your countries and hold conferences and help you and celebrate the victories with you and help you push through the hard things, whatever it takes. And in that, I think, is a big key into mobilizing and why we're seeing such great momentum.